Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and today I'm going to be reading 1-star reviews of my favorite books. So those of you that know me know that I love to rage. So what better way to spend the afternoon than reading things that will make me enraged? I'm not here to call out or make fun of anybody that has made a 1-star review of one of my favorite books. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. There are a lot of books that I dislike that other people love. Excuse me, what? So that being said, let the rage ensue. Also, I should let you know, I got this video idea from Joinin, who did a 1-star review reading of Harry Potter, and then recently I saw Paperback Dreams did a very similar video, so I will link both of theirs below. Make sure you check them out because they are very hilarious. One other thing to add is that these are not all my favorite books. I have a lot of favorite books, so I just picked 5 that I do love dearly, so that this video is not endlessly long. And I've just realized they're almost all green, and my favorite color is green, so I'm like, am I influenced by my favorite color in a book cover? Is that why they're my favorite books? Has nothing to do with the story, I'm just that shallow, it's just the cover. Anyhow, let's read some negative reviews. The first book we are going to rage about is Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. This was one of the first novels I ever read, and one of the first books I ever experienced because my mom read it to me when I was maybe 5? So yeah, holds a special place in my heart. I often felt like I was Anne, and all you people that hate it. These reviews are all gonna come from Goodreads, and I'm gonna try to find ones that are short, so like a sentence or so, rather than the ones that dissect it in paragraphs intellectually. Ain't nobody got time for that. So here we go, it's just on my phone here on Goodreads. Already off to a good start. There are very few 1-star reviews. In a word, trite. I know that sounds snobby, but come on, Anne is the epitome of a Mary Sue character. Aw, poor thing. She's too skinny and her red hair is too unique and she's just so quirky. Isn't she just the perfect little flawed heroine? Actually no, she's obnoxious. Even as a child I couldn't buy into this garbage. Well, you know what? I can't buy into your garbage, so. First of all, her red hair is too unique. This is not written now. This is written in the early 20th century, okay? When English colonialism was still a thing. So red hair is Scottish and Irish and therefore ugly and not the epitome of female beauty. So yeah, it is weird. Calm yourself. Also, sitting here calling a child obnoxious, this girl is like 10 or 11 years old in the beginning, so what kind of asshole are you? Just kidding, love you, but I disagree with your opinions. Maybe I read it a very wrong time, or something is seriously wrong with me. It's kiddish and stupid and boring. It's a kid's book. I had to read this book for school. It is the worst ever. You know what? You're the worst ever. Just kidding, but not really. Hated it. This was a terrible book. Nobody should read this, unless you like bad books. Well, guess what? Apparently I like bad books. I really hated this book, honestly. If you liked it, I'm so glad you did, truly, but I hate all of the characters. The plot was way too predictable, and I hated Anne a lot. That is so rude. Anne is the most delightful, imaginative little being that I just love dearly, so clearly you have bad taste in characters. I'm just kidding. I'm just triggered. First of all, why did Anne hold on to grudges for so long? And she kept saying the term romantic. Girl, you don't even know what romance is at 11. Okay, you don't even know what romance is at however old you are, because she's not using it in the context of love. She's using it antiquatedly in the sense that it inspires feeling or is beautiful in some sense. Think romantic poets. It doesn't mean they're into love, it means they're like part of this trend of like experiencing nature and being inspired by beauty, so. You don't know what you're talking about either. I'm really sorry. I'm not calling anybody out, I'm just triggered by your opinions. Ugh, dropping my phone in rage. Alright, let's move on. Next we have Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Oh my gosh. There's like actually almost 0 1-star reviews. Tiny little speck. Okay, this first one is super long, but the first paragraph is hilarious, so I'm gonna read it. Read Harry Potter, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Our child was built on Harry Potter, they said. Well, your childhoods were all horrible. OMG, what is this book? What is this mess I'm in? Excuse me, but that large salty lake where my life used to be is my tears. Yes, yes, this means I loved it. Wait a second, that was a 5-star review. Oops, my bad. I should not have read it as an adult, because during the whole book I was thinking of ways he could have done things better, so I was just frustrated the whole book. I just wish he actually thought things through for once. Well, aren't you a smarty pants? A book about teen love. In the last 100 pages, the author remembers that she had a story to carry on, and all the people start moving like Benny Hill. Rude. Very, very bad storyline. It signals the terrible ending beforehand. It's called foreshadowing. I knew the last book will be disastrous when I have started this book. Well, your grammar is disastrous, so there. There's a lot of people saying this is the worst book in the series. This is just, there's a really homophobic comment in here. I don't even think I can read, like, holy shit. Oh my word, that is just rude. So I tried my damn best to read this. I love all the other HP books, but I got bored, not even halfway through Half-Blood Prince, and was never able to pick it up again. My least favorite by far. Good luck. What? The whole world is in trouble and Harry spends a year worrying about kissing girls. Not that I've got a problem with kissing girls. It's just that I don't believe it would be Harry's focus when his life is in danger. Excuse me, have you ever been a 16-year-old boy? I think if you enjoy reading this book, you are in the wrong business. The business of reading children's books? Extremely superficial writing with annoying characters. Give me back my 30 minutes I've spent reading this 870 pages seriously. You read this entire book in 30 minutes? Damn! The books and series is too long, filled with cliches, lacked a compelling antagonist, and has a horrible little brat for a hero. I can't. I don't even know what to do with you. Alright, we're gonna be done with Harry Potter. I'll never be done with Harry Potter. Next on the list, Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. I feel like, unlike the first two, Throne of Glass, the series, is like hated a lot more. There's like a lot of people that are like, they hate it like with a passion, you know? It goes beyond just indifference or dislike, and they're like the fury. So I'm anticipating some good comments. Reasons why I didn't like this book. It was dull as dirt. It was way too long. Just wait for Kingdom of Ash then, bitch! I was so tired of the angst, no matter how justified it was. Alright. Look, if you're gonna say it was justified, you can't be mad about it. That's like saying, I have no empathy for your pain. You are a terrible human being. Rowan is overrated. There, I said it. I can't even. The chapters with the witches felt so pointless. BTW, the king outlawed magic, but witches are okay? Da fuck? Oh well, I don't care. Clearly you do. DNF 25%. I quit. I fucking quit. I'm done. Seriously, I tried. God knows I tried, but I just can't anymore. I'm not normally in the unpopular opinion side, but these books are, just no. And I really don't give a fuck about Selena/Aelin, whatever the fuck her name is, much less about Kale or that dude Rowan. The only one I really care about is my precious cinnamon roll Dorian, and he's the one who doesn't even get a lot of attention, so I'm done. Bye forever, Throne of Glass. Sorry, not sorry. I'm definitely gonna edit that over with a sad violin track. This is the mournful tale of what happens when an author and her editor becomes completely complacent after hitting the bestseller list and gathering enough diehard fangirls to gush about the fragrance of their shit. So savage. Why am I watching Bring It On Witches Edition? Why are you saying that like it's a bad thing? Why am I watching the Karate Kid Faye edition? Again! Why is that a bad thing? I feel like that was meant to be really negative, but I'm like, those are all the reasons why it's fantastic. This book killed me, and reading it is my biggest regret. This book series is rude to Dorian, make it stop! Also, I browsed or scanned IDK, what the word is TBH, most of the chapters because it bored me. For being a badass assassin who don't take no shit from nobody, she sure spends a lot of time feeling sorry for herself and folding her arms and pouting. I mean, you ain't wrong. This book is boring as hell, and I don't understand why people love this series so much. I don't understand you. Won't finish this series anymore. Not my thing anymore. Characters are cringy and too dramatic. It's not even a YA books. This is adult fantasy, but I feel like I'm reading a book for teenagers. I don't get the hype. Well, guess what? It is YA, so there's your problem right there. I cannot continue this series. She is driving me bonkers. Next book on the list, The Graceling by Kristen Cashore. This book is a very good example of how the fantasy genre has become irretrievably polluted by Stephenie Meyerism. This book made me so mad. I'm pretty sure I threw it across the room in frustration as soon as I finished it. I hated the ending and I hated the loose morals and standards the author is justifying for a young adult audience, and that is really what made me so mad about this book. So if you want to know the loose morals she's talking about, this is a spoiler. Basically, Poe, the love interest, wants to marry Katza, and she says no because she just got out from under her father's control, and so she's like, I don't want to marry you because I can't be tied down yet, I gotta live my life, you know, go find myself, be an independent woman. Not that she thinks marriage is bad, but it's just the idea that if she marries him, then she will have to consider him in her life decisions, because that's just what being in a healthy relationship is about, communication and compromise. And so she's like, I'm not ready for that, which how is that bad morally? Like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to just stay at home and cook you dinner and do whatever you tell me? Anyhow, she goes on a huge rant, but I'm done with that. I don't understand what drugs people are shooting up to actually enjoy this book. That is how much I detest it. I don't know what drugs you're shooting up to not enjoy this book. Somebody called it disgraceling. Okay, I'm sorry, you get points for that, well done. It is an offense to my intellect, my literary taste buds, and my femininity. Oh my goodness. So Katza, if you haven't read this book, is like a very masculine woman and like not girly in the slightest. That's not an offense to your femininity just because she's different than you. I just can't. I'm triggered hard. I don't understand why people think this book is so amazing. Katza is the most cliché character I've ever had the misfortune of reading about. She is, in fact, an annoying brat. That is all. That's all I have to say. Well.
The best part about this book is that it's over.
You people are terrible.
WTF was this book? My poor sore eyes can't handle that stupid and twisted feminism. Indeed, according to that author, wearing a dress, wishing to get married someday, taking care of yourself, and accepting people's help are all terrible things.
No, that's not what she's saying. What she's saying is this girl has been forced to be a certain way her whole life, and she don't want to be that way, so she goes and finds her true self, which happens to be kind of aggressive, kind of badass, and not that ladylike, and that's okay. The point is not it's bad if you're the other things, the point is it's okay to be those things too.
The female protagonist was the worst and most ridiculous thing I've ever read. Violent, cruel, close-minded, aggressive towards the whole world. That is so wrong with all those girls running around in dresses doing those girly things. Well, girl, the Lord must have sent you down there in order to save us all from manners and pink glitter because you're so special, right? Why can't we unread stuff?
I'm asking myself that same question. You're wrong.
A girl goes hiking for a really long time and doesn't like boys.
I feel like that's a really good example of the like summarizing books badly in one sentence game. I like that. It's not wrong. That's all I have to say to you. I'm sorry. I'm not mad at you, just your opinions. Very. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I just disagree with you.
And the last book on my list today, Beowulf, the Seamus Heaney translation.
If you didn't know, my undergraduate degree is in medieval history, and so gotta have a good medieval read in there, you know? That's how I live my life. It only has a 3-star average. If I wrote a list of the things I don't give a shit about, I'm pretty sure some big fucking monster whose name sounds like a word for the area between my balls and my ass that attacks alcoholics and is eventually slain by some asshole told entirely in some ancient form of English that I don't understand would be near the top, and for the record, run-on sentences would not. Judge not. What did I just read? If I wrote a list of the things I don't give a shit about, I'm pretty sure some big fucking monster whose name sounds like a word for the area between my balls and my ass that attacks alcoholics and is eventually slain by some asshole, told entirely in some ancient form of English that I don't understand, would be near the top. So the monster's name is Grendel, which means he's saying the area between his balls and ass is called his Grendel, apparently. Okay, buddy! Also, it's not my fault you don't understand this ancient form of English.
So let me help you with that. The Cambridge Old English Reader by Richard Marsden. Go forth and learn. I do not have the energy to explain why I hated this so much. It just sucked. You know what else just sucks? Your review.
I'm just kidding. Not starting anything. I'm just salty. About 1,000 years before this, Virgil wrote, I'm not actually sure how you say this, Aeneid? all you Greek classical people can inform me. And Ovid wrote
Metamorphoses.
Then this crap came along and got shut away because nobody wanted to read it. Now everybody thinks it's great because their stupid ancestor barbarians wrote a crazy story that sucks, has no stylistic merit, and doesn't make sense. I'm glad they couldn't find the whole thing. Even worse, Seamus Heaney is an old poop that couldn't even make insulin enticing to diabetics. Oh my gosh. My heart is in pain. Beowulf started as part of the oral tradition, so when you're sitting around the campfire freezing your ass off and you got no TV to entertain you, you tell stories. And a lot of them are about this hero Beowulf and possibly other heroes that then all get meshed together in this epic when they finally decide to write things down. So yeah, of course it's a little confusing because they're trying to take a giant tradition that's been told by hundreds of people over decades and centuries and make it into one coherent piece. So you can't read it as a modern story with the traditional arc, you know, inciting incident, climax, whatever, denouement. It doesn't have that because it's an epic based on hundreds of oral stories. I'm fine. I'm so done. This was the most repetitive yet incomprehensible drivel ever. This is literally so boring. Ye old shitty book. Snore. Good for literary analysis. Horrible for entertainment. Those of us of the intellectual variety find literary analysis to be entertaining, so you can take your review and shove it. Someone's just left. Ugh. My thoughts exactly. About your opinion. Bayo barf. I mean, this book pretty much covers every D&D player's wet dream. LOL terrible. Okay, let's read one more. God save us all. When you are forced to read this, then it's like you're approaching the gates of hell, especially when your teacher is in love with it. You feel like your souls are being sizzled, can't move, sweat is pouring down your tired spine, and you can't ask for the 9th time to go to the toilets. Fair enough. Clearly this person just read it for school, so guess it's not your cup of tea. Okay, one more because I am triggered. Self-indulgent vanity project driven by poor pacing. Florid descriptions unfortunately add little substance to the paper-thin plot, and the awkwardly encyclopedic ending makes Lord of the Rings look like Hemingway. First of all, insulting Beowulf. Second of all, insulting my baby Lord of the Rings. Like, Mr. Beowulf should be required to repeat his nighttime writers class at the Learning Annex. Well, it's not written by Beowulf. Beowulf is the character name. Second of all, you gotta stop applying these modern concepts of literary arcs to this poem because it's not how it works. I get it, it's not for everyone. And yeah, there's like issues with it, but like I said, it's an amalgamation of people telling each other bedtime stories, so what do you want? I think it's beautiful. That's all for this video. I'm gonna go punch a wall now. Triggered.